go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Lord, help me let it go. Help me let it go. Yeah, let's get go, yeah. Let it go. Help me let it go. Master Jesus, let it go. Yeah. Help me let it go. Go, 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 go. Oh, let it go. I'm tired, let it go. Give it up to Jesus. Let it take control. Just sit and worship. I know it hurts you, and I know it's painful. No way to wait, so you have to let it go. Your best friend is not your secret enemy. Let it go. Your wife is getting married to another man. Your husband are falling in love with another woman. Don't let it bother you. I say let it go. If someone overlook you because you live in zero, if they insult you because you don't have nobody, if they say you will continue to be a zogo, if they say you will continue to be a prostitute, if they say you will continue to be a beggar, you will not marry, you will not bear your own children. If they say your knee is for a borrow, some they go to meeting, mommy can say no, Johnny Ginger. Just let it go. Jesus will change your story. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Oh, let it go. Let it go. Lord, help me let it go. Help me let it go, man.
Might blow. Hello. Nobody do it like you do. You a true God. You always hear me when I say my prayer with few words. But Jenna said, if they play me in this new world, be the power every day. And while I'm still a good boy, Jehovah bigger than your problems, so just let it go. Just keep on praying. You will make a blessing overflow.
Hey Google, tune down the music. Hey Google, tune it down.
I want to give you praises. Yeah, I got this. You think I'm getting praises. But let me tell you, make your brother never be.
All right, let's see here. Okay, good evening, folks. Welcome. I'm Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio to Lpr-Tv. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. My guest is here, standing by backstage, and I'm going to be breaking down here. But what now we do this? Let's take a quick trip to neighboring La Côte d'Ivoire. Côte d'Ivoire, my town is right to the border there, and I love dancing to Côte d'Ivoire music. The library is here, but we also have a Yonta librarian here to involve in multitudes of roles. So we're going to mix it up here a little bit. We're going to have a little bit exclusive with me, and later on, we're going to shift gear to see what is happening in the world of politics and how terrible it is becoming. The struggle for leadership continues. But let me take you to La Côte d'Ivoire for this beautiful music, and I will be right back.
Développement PPS pas d'abord dio, bah ben Sévérin Basibo pour la mairie. Bye Ben Sévérin, tu as attendu ta prière et il t'a exaucé. Bienvenue, monsieur le maire. Samy Dola, mon arrangeur au cœur blanc. Maman Mariette, président du fan club BPS. Barbossier Oswald, Bossi. Ah, oh, pas mais, oh. Ben Sévérin, oh, pas mais, deme, oh. Quand tu vois, oh, bébé, pas mais, oh. Ou nous, nous, bouillez, si, oh, pas si beau, mais, oh. Oui, oh, l'oré, à zé, oh. Capitaine Bibio Valé, à zé, oh. Commissaire qui vous, à zé, oh. Président Robinson, à zé, oh. Président Basio, à zé, oh. Président de Michel, à zé, oh. Maman Bae Dorothée, à zé, oh. Badie Madame le maire, c'est moi, non, pas. Mado wa poju kidi a ma non po. Ah, oh, pas mais, oh. Avant son arrivée, il a été annoncé. Celui qui doit sauver Tiglo est de retour. Le peuple entier, tout Tiglo est debout. Comme Jésus arrive à BPS, avec des faits et des développements. Il dit entre ta vérité et ma vérité, oh, il y a celle du peuple. Oh. C'est la dit Tiglo d'abord. La pierre rejetée est devenue la principale. Oh. Ça n'est pas mais demain, oh. Tiglo, quand il plaît, tout le monde nous est assilé. Que doit ici avoir de vie en tranquillité. Ah non, le maître de Vietnam, Tiglo d'abord. Nous sommes dans la réconciliation, dites-moi. Pour tout le monde, à faire se réunir, nous. À faire nous un péché. Pourquoi moi, les uns qui croient que les autres couillent. Ah non, le maître de Vietnam, cohésion sociale.
All right, so let's get a program going. Let me bring in my guest. The evening is fast spent. The Liberal Progressives is standing by. But Mr. Zingwit is here, Martin. He's going to have himself introduced. Let me just pause this here because I'm getting the feedback here. Just bear with us here, folks, and we will get this here. Samson too seems to be in my system here. He wants to infiltrate. The problem they're having in Liberty Party, he's unable to resolve it. He want to penetrate my system here this evening, but that's not going to happen. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners to this program. Share the podcast here this evening. So let's talk Liberia's talk. Let's talk some young folks that are making significant impact in our country. So we're going to keep the conversation proportional here. Do me a favor, just share the video to invite someone at your company. This evening. Let me bring in my guest here, Mr. Martin here, and we're going to have the conversation. But of course, there he is. And we're going to bring in the Liberal. Martin, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you, but my video for some reason is not working properly.
Which video? You're loud and clear, visible, well audible. Or you want to see us there?
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. For some reason, my computer is acting up.
I'm not sure, but you are very good and audible from my end.
Okay.
So if you want to watch it, is that your device? Is that a computer or from which? What are you using?
Yeah, it's a computer.
Okay, so yeah, let's go on the page, but you also want to load the volume so we can have a feedback in the conversation.
Okay.
You want to do that. Yeah. Okay, let me just bring in the Liberal here, the Liberal Progressive. Man, he's looking so downhearted and it looked like more trouble here. We're going to come to that, but let's get to some other progressive, the real-time progressive news inside Liberia. Martin is here to call him, the group call himself Liberia Diaspora Shipping Association. Okay. Let's let the cat out of the bag. Martin, please introduce yourself. I'm getting a feedback. Somebody to monitor. If you monitor, you want to also lower your monitor that from your end so we can get a feedback. You getting me right?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Okay, loud and clear. Okay, let's start the conversation. Just quickly introduce us, set the stage for us. Introduce yourself to our viewer, and we will get the conversation going.
All right, my name is Maham. Good evening, everyone. My name is Martin Zenway. Um, I live in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm a full-time teacher and a Liberian who came here during the Civil War as a refugee to the United States. I live in Cleveland, Ohio, and I've been in Cleveland, Ohio since 1992. And I'm also a businessman, and I have two other partners, non-Liberians, and we've been shipping and doing other business in Liberia for about 7 to 8 years.
Wow. Okay. What an impressive one. Thank you so much. We just want to make sure. The Lebrot, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. So, and good evening, Martin. Welcome on Liberian Public Radio.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so let's get a conversation going here. All of the time, politics. These people, they kept disappointing out. I'm not a favorite, but they are the dominants within the news cycle. So what can we do? We can no bad boy for a child. So we got to keep them around. Yeah, what we're going on with the Liberty Party and all of that. But that's going to be a different conversation. Let's get to the point here. Liberia Diaspora Shipping Association. So what is it, and what is it all about, Martin?
The Liberian Diaspora Shipping Shipping and Business Association. We are a mixture of shippers from the north, south, east, and west coast of the United States. We also have some members in Europe and other part of the world. We've been organizing ourselves for the past 3 years, going on 3 years. We had some other organizations that were in the United States. But one thing we've been trying to do is to gather all the shippers, So we went ahead and registered in Liberia, and we registered in the United States to really organize ourselves as an official group. And one of our members should be coming on, hopefully later on, because the group in Philadelphia had one of the loaders, who passed away, and they're sympathizing with the family. So he will be joining us after this to give more information. So we are a group of shippers and Liberians doing business in Liberia. And we just came together just to organize ourselves and to be able to advocate on behalf of Liberian in the diaspora and Liberians in Liberia. We register as a non-political group. All we want to focus on is the business and how to be part of the uplifting of the economy in Liberia, and how we can all give back to the country that made us who we are.
Okay, to start off, we will, as time goes by, probably this is going to be inconclusive tonight because we have interest in knowing this here, Martin. But first of all, we say it's a very good start because a couple of them, they have called on this network during our regular programs, and all I hear was, complaining about like why you guys can organize yourself so that government can have your presence felt so that they will know you are a legit group. So I know with the shipping business with Liberians all over East, West, or whatever they are, it's not a new thing. And the Liberal, don't hesitate, don't be downhearted. Whatever going on in Liberty Party, please put that aside right now. Let's talk about people who are bringing some dividends within the country. So don't look at that photo, don't look at the Constitution. You're not going to do anything. So Martin, tell me what necessitated this group coming together? Well, by the way, let's welcome one of our own here. He's been away for quite a while, but he's here this evening, Mr. Amos George. George is back. Mr. George, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. So, and good evening to Mr. Samson Bakuto and our guest, and to all our many listeners. Thank you for the concerns, and we are back.
Okay, all right. So we're going to, believe me, just hang in there. We're going to come to politics. Let's talk about this Liberia ought to be. So Martin, what necessitated this group now for you guys to consolidate, to come together? How this idea pops in, who here it pops into, and be able to have this a group calling itself Liberia Diaspora Shipping Association?
Yes. Well, again, we want to thank you guys for the opportunity. Mr. Toe, Mr. George, and Mr. So. Again, want to thank you guys, thank your platform for giving us the opportunity. Like I said, we've been on Facebook. we've been trying to organize and work with other organizations. It was just a few of us. We've been communicating, so we decided, you know what? I mean, it's okay to come on Facebook and, complain about the government, to complain about stuff going on in Liberia and some of the issues that we're having while doing business in Liberia. So it's best for us to organize ourselves, especially some of us who, grew up in a system where, people are organized, people are structured, you know, and people advocate in different ways, you know. So we were just trying to find a way to be strategic in our advocacy, So we decided to to register as an official business, So we first registered in Ohio, where I live, with some other friends, and then we went ahead and registered in Liberia, and then there we started growing our membership, and we started coming across other shippers in mostly Philadelphia, the East Coast, the West Coast, and we started bringing those guys on board. And then we started reaching out to some people in the excuse me, in Europe and other places, just so we can organize ourselves. We're still going through, the ready structuring stage. We are strong now, but we're trying to get what we're trying to do. We're trying to form a network of shippers and a unified force of shippers, so we can be able to advocate to the government on our behalf and trying to speak with one voice. Because one of the problem with Liberians, we talk, but when it comes to organizing and ready working and advocating, on our behalf, sometimes it's difficult. So that's one thing we're trying to get rid of, that stigma on Liberians. So that's something we've been doing, and it's been working. It's a lot of work, but we're still advocating. And again, we thank you guys for giving us the opportunity, the platform to be able to share this.
So Martin, you finish now, speak my language now, speak my protein now. What you say you here to tell? Oh, that's why I want to listen now.
All right, Mr. Toe. Thank you. Let me take it to our Liberian, Kolonkwa. Yeah, I want to say thank you. But one thing we're trying to do here today, we really want to, talk to Liberians, all the shippers. We're trying to come together. So if you're shippers, because we've been taking this year, just this year, due to COVID, we've been trying to reach out to all the shippers, to see that, look, we need to come together first. We need to form a unified force. We need to come together and also put this organization, because one man can go and complain, but we fight as a unit, and engage the government as a unit, the government will listen. That's why all those other different nationalities are doing Liberia, and they control our economy, because they work together.
What would be the benefit of any member, any shaper who is doing it individually? What would be the benefit by joining you guys? For him, or for whoever is going to be part of this organization that you're talking about?
The Liberian Diaspora Shippers and Business Association, the benefit, to answer your question, Mr. Toe, the benefit will be you're not fighting alone. Your advocacy is not just, because sometimes it get tiring. It get tiring. So if we all come together and strategize together, you have a support system. You have a network system of other people who have some of the same issues and some of the same solutions. Because one thing we try to do is not just talk about problem. We try to give solutions too. And then you have a support group. You have a support group of other people that understand you, that understand the issues, and want to engage the government with you and other entities in Liberia and in the diaspora, so we can work together for the benefits of us, the government, the country, and the people.
So then, is your advocacy just towards Liberian government, or do you also going to advocate on behalf of your group in terms of engaging the people that own the container? And because my understanding from what I've been reading, what I've been hearing about these container issues, they have people who subcontract the container to certain group, and they have that group where they also sub to another group to keep the container in a yard. and then from there, Liberians or who individual who wants to use the container can now go in the in a yacht or in the person who own the yacht and subcontract the person from the container. So you have a level of stages for you to even be, according to my understanding, I
Right.
could be wrong, but you have level of stages for you can even reach to those who are properly engaged in shaping these containers. So is that kinds of, if that's what I'm saying, if it is true, which I'm not saying you should say yes or no, but if it is true, do you intend on behalf of your membership to engage those perhaps that might want to bring in unfair business practices towards Liberian shippers?
I mean, yes, yes. All things consider, those are some of the things that we're looking at. You know, because one of the things we're also looking at, you know, we're trying to form as a container broker, so that way we're going directly to the shipping line. We're going directly to, let's say, for example, Merce line. You know, but some of the roadblocks that we come across, you know, some of the insurance and the different policies you have to carry as a company is so high, and one person cannot do it. So those are some of the things that we're doing. And when we come together as a group, you know, we can all put our resources together, you know, to be able to do some of these things.
So,
Yes.
then how do you because now if you're coming together as a group, which then you will be much more powerful, which I agree with. You can directly engage Merck to deal with them directly. But what's some of the middlemen that people, individual Liberians are dealing with now, including other Liberians that might feel threatened by your action? So how do you then try to persuade them to see reason to cooperate with you?
The first thing we have to start the conversation. We have to start talking, because I mean, Liberian, we have this mentality where, you know, you and I can do the same business. We got to feel threatened by you. But one thing we learn in America, you see McDonald's, you see Burger King, you see Arby's, they're all on the same street. They're all selling burger. But some people like Arby's for different reasons. Some people like McDonald's for different reasons. And overall, that's enough to go around. That's enough to go around. So we need to get out of this mentality that, you know, I should be the only Liberian shipper. We need to get out of that. We have enough Liberians and non-Liberians that ship things to Liberia. Most of my business, I would say about 40% of my business are non-Liberians who just have the NGOs and doing other things in Liberia who are shipper. You know, so that's different. But first thing, we need to get rid of that. We can all do the same business and everybody can still profit. That's enough to go around. One. The second thing is, look, when we come together, then we can start doing some of these things. You know, we can start doing some of these things. It's not just engaging the government. Yes, you know, we want to do such thing as, you know, if a shipper ship for you, and for some reason you can't reach the shipper, you know, you can get in touch or it damage your things. There should be a hotline you can call so we can get in touch with that shipper. If a customer's you have an issue with your customers, you know, there should be some type of support system. But before we do all of that, we want to unite first. We want to come together as a group. We have enough, but we're just trying to make sure more people know about us. We're trying to create this awareness. I know more people know about us, and they can join us. Just come and listen. You know, we want to have have a flat price rate, a base price rate that we can say, okay, let's say we're shipping a large container or a large barrel. We have a flat a base price rate that nobody can go below, but you can always go above based on your expenses. You know, so those
So,
are some of the
so,
things that we're
so,
trying to put in
so
place there
now,
to have a
as a
system.
liberal, Mr. Martin, as a liberal, now you're a little bit going into my area now. And I'm going to come back hard, and I'll push back on it. When you start publicizing this type of entity, are you not getting close to monopoly here, where you think you're the only big fish in this pond here? Why
Oh,
do you
Lord.
want? What, Mr. So, this is a liberal. I'm saying you want Mr. Martin, and if you're successful, you're trying to now have the entire thing to yourself. How do you explain to us what's the difference between what you're talking about and monopoly, sir?
Uh, um, Mr. Toe, what we're trying to do here, we're forming an organization. All right. The Labyrinth Diaspora Shipping and Business Association is an umbrella organization. Like people that ship on in New York will still be shipping. So if you have your shipping company, you will still ship. If you're in Texas and you're a shipper, I'm not saying that we will be the lone and only shipper. No, this is an umbrella organization bringing all the shippers, trying to unite all the shippers in the diaspora under one umbrella, so we can advocate together. Because the Indian community in Liberia, when they're going to engage the government or any other entities, they have one voice. One person go and represent the Indian community. One person go and represent the Asian community. One person go and represent the whosoever, the Lebanese community. Yes, you have all these different Lebanese stores, these different Lebanese vendors, but at the same time, they're working with one organization or one community. That's what we're trying to establish. The Liberian Diaspora Shipping and Business Association, that community, even though you have different shippers in that community, but when it comes to advocacy, we all work together to advocate. So we're not saying that Martin will be the sole and only shipper. No, we're not saying Bill will be the only shipping or Logan will be the only shipper. No, we're saying that if you want to ship in Texas, we can recommend. If you're in Texas, you call Martin. I can say, you know what? I can come to Texas, but we have other shippers in Texas. I can recommend that shipper. Or I have another shipper in Miami. I can recommend that shipper because we're all working together.
Fair point, Martin. But I just want you to understand, when you come to Liberian Public Radio, we're here to question. I'm a liberal, and my question from that perspective, it gets into the skin of the two conservative you're looking at right there, but they're not going to deter me. I will ask my liberal question.
Thank you.
Martin, Philip, we're not getting your image. Probably you can go out and come back. Look, Martin, disregard that guy. He's trying to resuscitate. He is trying hard to resuscitate himself. This guy right now, he's on different planet, all right? So this liberal, they just want to drive everybody nuts here. Okay, Pa Joyce, don't hesitate to come in here. So let me ask you. Yeah, go ahead, Pa Joyce.
Okay. Because I was in the business.
Philip, just go out and come back, because let me just pull him off so that you come back, because I'm not getting his image. Yeah, go ahead, Pa Joyce.
Mr. Martin, thank you. I used to ship to Liberia from Atlanta, and I slowed down because the government, the tariff that was being put at the port. I just came from Liberia recently, and I obtained some information from there. The charges down at the port. Mr. Toll was trying to ask a question. Let me just throw a little light on it. Normally, you have the logistic companies. They normally get a container and bring it to the shipper. That is the truck. They bring it, you load it, then they take it to the port. You also have to have a broker, a custom broker, who will process. They send it to them. The shipping, that company handle it, everything is sent to them to do that. So it's not that you just go directly to deal with Messline.
Right.
You got a logistic company, then you got someone in that place that handle all your documents. The car document, they send there, they process that one, then they forward the fleet to Messline. So there's a chain there. You cannot just go directly to Messline.
Right.
There's always, you got to use the logistic company to haul your container. They order it, they bring it, you load it, they send it, you give them the document, they handle that document. So that is the chain it goes through. So to say that you deal with them directly, Messline directly, you have to have somebody to process that. Until you reach that level that you can afford, or you can afford now, then you don't have to deal with that middleman. You can deal directly with that. Means you got your own trucking company or whatever now, you can deal with them directly. So those are some of the process. But what I wanted to ask you is that this association that you're trying to put together in Liberia, what do people hope to achieve at the end of the day?
All right. Good question, Mr. George. I want to thank you for that question. Just to go back to in the beginning, how you started. You know, I guess from growing up, pretty much growing up in the United States, uh, we sometimes we're not afraid. We like the challenge because yes, you can go directly to Marsland or CMA, you know, but it's all about quantity.
Yes.
So this is why we're organizing. We want to organize ourselves because if Marsland say, you know what, I can't talk to you if you're not shipping more than 150 container a year. You know, I can't talk to you because it's not profitable to me. So we can come together now. So as an organization, if we have right now we have about 40 to 45, 50 members. So if we grow to even though 45 members, we all say, you know what, we're going to come together and go directly to Merce. And maybe we can ship 200 containers. Merce will listen to us. Now we can go directly to Merce because at the end of the day, it will be less expensive because what these middlemen are charging us, you know, they're adding their profit to it.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's one. So if we're going directly to Merce, then that way we can now, you know, lose a little bit of a little bit of weight on our customers because we getting out a better deal. Then we can start, you know, giving our customers better deal because now we're shipping more, we're giving Merce business, and then we're paying tax to the government in Liberia. So everybody win, you know. But to come back to your question, what are we trying to achieve in Liberia? One thing we're trying to do, look, you know, Liberia is the common denominator. Without Liberia, there will be none of us. You know, I'll follow your show, and I know you guys talk on behalf of Liberia because we all look. Our neighbor stream of burying in Liberia, but at the same time, just because we have this opportunity in the States, we would love to go back. And I like to tell this story because I have 11 brothers and sisters, and I was the only one who was lucky to come to the United States as a refugee. So there's a lot of pressure on me. So if Liberia is okay, that means the phone call will slow down. It will stop. The phone call will stop. So that's why we're trying to engage the government so they can understand that, look, even though you're trying to generate tax, but if you can make Liberia a business-friendly environment, the government win, the business people win, and then the local people win because we're creating jobs, we're creating opportunity. You know, we're bringing resources to the country. At the same time, we're profiting, the government profiting, the people profiting, and then they have something to do.
Okay. All right. So here, I guess you are one of the followers. Your colleague, Mr. Woods, is trying to get on, but for some reason, we are not getting his image to add into the stream. I'm not sure what's going on. But Philip, if you are hearing, I'll probably want to go off and come back again. So what we do here, our onliners, to those that follow us, would value their views, their opinions, because they are part of our conversation team, but they just choose to be behind the scene. So we're trying to give priority because this whole shipping thing here is a pain in the neck. Too much going on because people sending stuff to families, relatives, especially this season here. So, and there are other people who also want to be shareholders based on what they are hearing. But this is what Mr. Brown is saying here, Eric Brown. Would there be a profit sharing with the members? You talk about members. I don't know whether it's limited to only the shippers directly, but who outside of the bear will, maybe I want to invest into I'm not sure that's what Mr. Brown is diving into, but this is what he's trying to say. What's you talk about? So let me be a little bit specific here. When you talk about members, who are you referring to precisely?
The first thing we're trying to bring shippers together. We're trying to bring shippers and those in the diaspora doing business in Liberia. You know, we want to come together. Then we want to strategize to see what we can do. So you don't have to be a shipper. You know, if you ship anything to Liberia, you can join this group. You don't have to be a shipper. You don't have to have a store or supermarket or anything. You can just be a part of the group as a concerned Liberian. You can be a part of the group as a shipper in Liberia. You can be a part of the group for just as a consumer, those who sending things. Because you maybe you have questions about the pricing. You can be a part of the group because the more we come together, we're stronger when we fight together. We're stronger when we work together. So that's what we're trying to do first initially. That's our plan. And then while we're there, then we're trying to strategize to be able to form this group of shippers that are coming together to go directly to some of these shipping lines and push the middleman to the side. You know,
Okay, push the middleman to the side here. Our other guy coming, this is Smith Dawet saying, what is Martin's view on the high tariff at the port? I know you just starting the pace here, and before you respond to that question here, you said you have registered, correct, in Liberia?
yes.
So have you started a conversation with national central government relative to what your association or what the diasporan shippers are trying to do when what is their own reception in that regard?
Yes, we've been engaging the government. Matter of fact, we did a few PR publication, from the Ashford Gali show to Sekou Kone show to Focus on Liberia. We even wrote some letters, sent our representatives to Liberia to present letter to the Speaker of the House, our Senator, Mr. DeLong. We try to get in touch. We're working with the Liberian Broker Association. We're also working with Patel, working with the Liberian Business Association. We have a group where we discuss issues. Because again, shipping work like this. You have us shipping in the diaspora, and then we hire the brokers. So the brokers is the middleman between the government of Liberia and the shippers or the businesses. So the broker does all the paperwork on our behalf. And then you have the government that making their tax, that charging us the tariff. So for that viewer, the tariff is very high. We met with Thomas Nadeau. We had a meeting with him just with the diaspora shipper, our
That
organization.
is on LRA.
Yeah, from LRA, the LRA boss. And we
Okay.
discussed some of the issue. We told him some of our concern. We wrote him a letter, discussing some of the issues that we have. And then we also give solutions. We give solutions. So everything that we discuss, we also give solutions. One of the thing is maybe having a flat rate. Because Mr. So, Mr. Toll, Mr. George, no, we can ship the same container, the exact same things in the container, and we will all have different prices.
All right. Again, this is a very good thing, but before Pa George come in, we're going to look at other things. There are other shippers who carry people things. I don't know how you're going to look at that. Whether you're going to take a holistic review or, in this whole thing here, because there are other shippers here who shipping industry is on life support. Meaning they just send today and maybe until next year they can send. And when they send people things, they can't even get it out at the port there. As a result, it becomes a problem. So what are the components? What are you guys going to consider? Because, don't get me wrong, it's a very good idea, but we don't just want other people who will come and mingle with your associations with such a bigger picture or good ideas so far, we can say, coming forward to form a union, because we know our country, to form a union, a group, is a little hell on earth here. So how are you going to address all of these issues? What is the feedback now you are getting from authorities back home that energize you? My understanding, you're on your way to Liberia. Part of that is to continue this conversation. So there's some sort of seriousness here out front here that we can say.
One thing I try to stay away from is politics. As I stated earlier, our organization is not political. But when you talk about life support, I usually
what I'm just talking about. They don't have that solid foundation. I know people got to start from scratch.
Right.
But hey, when you carry people things, they get sometimes the material gets there on time, but the finances are not there to get it out. As a result, it overstay, and perhaps they can't even get it, and that becomes another problem.
Right. Right. And those are some of the issues. Those are some of the issues that we put in our letter that we sent initially to the government. One of the problems is, okay, for example, you ship your container. You ship your container arrive, and then you wire your money. You wire the custom duty and all the different fees you have to pay. And you go to receive your money from the bank, and this bank said the system is down, or we don't have enough money in the bank. So now your container is there. Mind you, you have 3 to 5 days to clear your container without fees, meaning without storage fees, extra fees. So now the bank said no money, or you pay your fees, you pay everything, and that AP terminal, they're delaying, their system is down. But yet and still, they're charging you after the 3 to 5 days, they're charging you storage when the problem is not on your end. You know, you go to the port and say, okay, the machine that take the container or load the container, the machine is broken. Okay, it's not my fault. But yet and still, I'm being charged. So those are some of the issues that we have. You go to the bank, no money, or come, we'll get your money small.
Are you just telling us, Martin, I here to do this here, not to interrupt you. Are you just telling us here, or has it been part of the conversations with the folks back home? Are you addressing all of these? These are very critical points.
Yes.
You know, are you addressing them? And if so, what are they telling you in return?
Oh, we're going to work on the system. We're going to work on the system. One of the main problems that we have, for example, the CTN. I think you guys been hearing that. CTN it's a company. Look, when we started, Mr. Brown know this. When we started shipping way before IB Express and other places, the shipping line will give you a global tracking number. You can track your container anywhere in the world. Now, CTN is a company that came from Sierra Leone. The Sierra Leone government kicked them out of the country.
Creole man. Oh boy.
They came from Sierra Leone, kicked them out of the country. They came to Liberia, grab a few people and say, you know what, let's start this company. So now they're charging us for our own tracking number. So the shipping line here have to give them the same tracking number that they give to us. And they will give it to CTN. And we pay CTN $350 to $550 just for that certificate alone. And CTN has nothing to do with your container.
I brought a list, Mr. So. I brought a list.
Oh yeah.
I brought a list from Monrovia. CTN. What CTN did, they hired BFA. BFA that was doing the inspection. CTN took the contract and subcontracted BFA.
No, you're talking about Mass Scientific.
Yeah, Mass Scientific contracted BFA. When you ship your thing, just like the post office, they get tracking number. That's how it used to be. When you ship, when the logistics company ship that container, they will send you a tracking number. You go online, they will tell you how far, where there is the container. It's the same old job CTN is doing, charging $300 to $370 to $300, almost $400.
Yes.
That's the same job. I brought the whole thing.
We're going to take a review.
Then, besides that, you have to pay the trucker. You have to pay the trucker. Then you have to get this phone from the shipping line. I think it's $175 now or $2 something now.
No, it's $275.
$275. I got a list. I brought a list. You have to get that from the shipping line. Then
you have to pay AP terminal.
AP terminal, I think it's two something.
It's three change.
Yes. I think it's the double waffle.
Oh, besides that,
I don't.
Yeah, what they used to do is also when before used to do the inspection, sometimes when they continue to get to the port, they will say they want to reappraise that container.
So do they? Okay, somebody phrase here is saying here, and they split the proceed with BFA. So this, Martin, come in here. You and Pajoy, Pajoy, that they make you went broke, and that's why you start completely, right? So
that's why I started because when everything just turned around. So
wait a minute. Are these two companies? They are doing two different things, or just other than the same thing, but kind of like restructure themselves as if they are doing something different?
Scientific is not doing the job that BFA are doing. They don't have the equipment. So what they do, the subcontractor BFA. These people don't have the equipment. BFA had the equipment. but they saw how many and got the contract, then subcontracted BFAC.
Okay, so Martin,
Yes.
are you on top of all of that has been revealed here? And if so, were these also
He
put
knows it.
forward to these people to this sort of bureaucracy and that sort of way of doing things?
And you see, these are some of the problem that we talked about. You know, for Liberia to move forward, the reason they call Liberia the free port, or they call the port the free port, because Liberia was a very business friendly back in the days. Matter of fact, I think Liberia is number 2 in the world. All right, country that most of the ships fly the Liberian flag. Most ships are registered in Liberia, because Liberia was called the free port. But now, I want to say plain greed, because of greed. And we have people that don't see the big picture. The reason America is great, because America believe in the trickle-down effect. You eat, I eat, we all eat, the government eat. That's the system they have.
Everybody want to go to the airport.
Right. But if one people just want to just strangle people, I would say they're killing the Liberian businesses. A friend of mine, look, Liberia right now, truthfully speaking, and it's not about this government or the last government, it's a system in Liberia. They strangle Liberian businesses. This is why you see a lot of Liberian businesses are not successful. They can only go for so long, and then they will just drink it off the earth. So it's like we don't support our own. We don't support our own. And the government has a system that really don't support or push Liberian businesses. CTN, for example, what is the function of CTN? No, nothing.
Nothing.
But we pay them. What is Mass Scientific? Now, Mass Scientific, so BVAC, BVAC used to do the pre-inspection before you ship.
Yeah.
Yes, we had some problem with BVAC, because sometimes you have to wait 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and that's why people say, "Oh, you took my things and you didn't ship it long time. You had it," because BVAC will give you some now 2-3 weeks, especially us that live in the Midwest. People on the East Coast, it's a little easier to get the things because most of the inspectors are on the East Coast or in Texas. So now they say, "Okay, we'll get rid of BVAC because you guys having problem." But then they brought Mass Scientific, but they didn't tell us.
But you know what?
They didn't tell us. They just say, "You know what? Starting October, I think it was October 1st, Mass Scientific gonna take over," and they double, they even triple some of the fees that BVAC were charging.
That's how I got it.
Okay, let's see here. Let's try to engage our online here. Prince, we don't know specifically which organization. Are you talking about Liberian shipper organization? I believe, I assume, but try to be a little crystal clear with your question. So who is the head of this organization? Who is the contact person for the organization? So I surmise Prince wants to know the shipping industry. So who is the contact person? Maybe you can share that number with us, and we can put it there just in case people who want to reach out as well.
Yes, you can contact me. We have myself. No guys elected me as the SG, and then we have T. Wonoke, who's in charge of the human right fight in Liberia. He's the assistant SG, and we have our secretary, Mr. Bill Neal, who live in Michigan. He's the we have Logan, who is the treasurer. We have Philip, who is one of our lead members. We have Yasa is in Philadelphia. We have Angeli Yala, who is in Newark, New Jersey.
You know what? These people we need to see, and we have to. I know you're on your way.
But you can contact me. You can contact me by Facebook, Martin Zenway, Martin M. Zenway. You can just send me an inbox message, and I will connect you with the right person. But right now I'm the head of the organization. By next year we're going to have election, so we can try to see.
You're breaking election inside, Martin.
You say what?
Election coming inside the shipping business?
No. What we're trying to do now, we're just trying to, because our constitution say you can only serve for 2 years.
Okay, my last name. I just asking you. Because I know when it comes to election, the power president, I don't know, but it's a very good start.
Mr. So, Mr. So,
Hold
Mr.
on,
So.
coming. I know you're trying to gain strength. You don't worry. The real conversation is coming after we're done with Martin. So don't think that's going to end.
No, but before Martin leave, let me make this point.
He's not leaving. I just want to make, let me just making to respond to this online question. They said, would there be a training for members to uplift the shipping profession? You know, I think that's kind of a technical question here. I don't know.
Yes. Like I said, just contact me. Look me up on Facebook. I can give you my phone number. You can.
Yeah, just give me the phone number. Yeah, let's see. So we can put it up just in case.
All right, it's 216.
216. I'll be posting it. Oh, 216.
Yeah, 870.
870.
Or 7485.
74?
7485.
7485. And that's the Liberia
Diaspora Shipping and Business Association.
Okay.
So
yeah, go ahead.
While you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, let me just make this point. If you can you guys hear me?
We hear you. Go ahead.
Look, let's be sincere here. I think Martin has done a wonderful job explaining himself and his organization here tonight. And I think many of the brothers and sisters that are in this shipping business, you can say they want to make money, but I think most of the process itself, they're very helpful to the Liberian community in the diaspora, because they also let you, because if you were to ship these things by yourself on a plane or taking it back home on the plane, it's going to be much, much more expensive. So by these people going through all of the hoops and whatever, and if you were to even look into the profit that perhaps they're going to get, it's nothing much. It's nothing much. So I want to appreciate what Martin and his group has doing, including the entire shipping brothers and sisters. However, I want to say this. We're going to be in it here for a very long time. People hungry. Then you say you can't run the government. Even if Dr. Weah and his people leave, Dr. Baka and his people, they're all hungry. Yeah. All of them, they're hungry. They're going to do the same thing. This thing back, and this is a very serious problem. Back when Madam Salif took over, there was an incident that I still remember. The police training center in Liberia, the cadets that the police do, they train people to become police officers. They have a specific lady that was cooking for the training for the cadets. When Madam Salif took over, her friend, closer friend, left America and went there specifically to cater to those people, so that the contract for that will come to her. And without any kinds of process of bidding or whatever, they give that project to this lady that came from America. So this is not new. This is not new. I think Liberians, perhaps their eyes are opening little by little, and eventually they're going to reject these kinds of behavior because they are not benefiting anybody. Let's take, for example, the whatever company that G-Bad all dancing, and now you see it, now you do that kind of dancing stuff. If they were legitimate, of course they're legitimate in the eyes of the government because they have papers, but in sincere in their operation. This thing, if you share all over, everyone benefit. And Liberian government will benefit more because the more people get, the more taxes they pay.
Thank you.
If you allow the people to shape, and you say the flat fee, just pay. The money they pay, it goes to the cover of the Liberian government.
Samson,
because they don't even trust themselves.
Mr. Toll.
Let me just say something here.
You too conservative. Wait, let the liberal finish, and then you guys can come in. Mr. George, welcome. The Libra is still here. I'm waiting
Okay.
for. I've been waiting for you for the last 2 months or so. Welcome. You are not going to be a little bit
No, I will not
introducing.
wait for 2 months, please. I will wait for
Well,
3 months.
okay, whatever. I think I say 2 months, whatever. But anyhow, we'll come to that later. But the point that I'm making here before this young, very serious, before this young man take leave of us, Mr. So, I think we should take our hat up for this brilliant idea. However, I hope that when they're successful, all options should be on the table, including the process of striking, to say we will not ship anything until the Liberian government recognize that we are some of the backbone for their operation. Because without these shipping stuff, they won't get a lot of things over there. If you're waiting for the Lebanese and the Indians to ship their stuff, the thing's going to be so much expensive in our country, they won't be able to deal with it. These people must and not just this government, any other government, must recognize the power of the Liberian diaspora. And it's very important because they continue to misuse us. And I think that's ridiculous. Thank you, Martin.
And
We
Mr.
pray
To,
that you'll be successful.
Mr. To, if I can shine a little light on that, this is why we're trying to organize, because in our community, sometimes we don't fight together. We don't fight together. So if I say I'm striking, mind you, I used to ship 4 or 5 times a year. I ship on the average 2 to 3 containers at the time. So if I'm shipping 4 to 5 times a year and I'm shipping 2 to 3 containers at the time, that's a lot of custom duty for the government. But since things started getting hard for the past 2 years, not just because of COVID, I've been shipping 1, 2 containers, shipping 3 times a year because things are so difficult. Doing business is so challenging in Liberia right now. It's so challenging. Too many overheads. And not just the government, sometimes even our customer don't understand. Because sometimes you ship people things, they don't pay you. And then they continue to get there, they don't pay you. So now you have to scramble money. So it's yes, Liberia has a problem, but our people in the diaspora too, sometimes they have problems. So we want to make people know that, look, this shipping thing is difficult. This shipping thing is challenging. This shipping thing is very expensive. I don't know any shippers right now, maybe 1 or 2, that will say I'm doing this full time. Everybody have a part-time job. For me, I'm a full-time teacher. That's how I pay my bills. I ship because, again, we try to reconnect with the country. We're trying to get things into the country. We're trying to make sure they will build into something that we can all do full-time. But the government trying to strangle us. Every ship, look, we just found out that the goods and service tax went up to almost 30%.
Yeah.
For what? For what? So how do you expect us? I know the government trying to raise funds, but there's other avenue they can take instead of just strangling the businesses. And a lot of time we suffer.
So let's flip the coins around here, Martin, before you go. The liberal, he always like to throw unnecessary tantrum with the hope to capture his thing. But nobody likes him on this platform here because his views are always just not, for the most part, not in the interest of the people. But here is the other aspect here. And I understand the government and all of that. But the same very government, I strongly believe part of the problem here is because the same old very people that are in the system, the little things that the layman out there, all of us or other ordinary people who are unemployed to engage in these small businesses, the same very government they are in today. So as the result, they put these rules, they put these stringent measures in place. However, for them, it doesn't harm them. But guess what? They put it there for you and myself and ordinary Liberians to be strangulated so that they can't even do these things here. They are involved into businesses. They have all these companies that go for bidding, and the real Liberians that are out there in desperation, who finding job for ordinary people, they don't even get the bid. By the time you go low, nobody knows how it goes. Mr. A or Mrs. A wins it because he or she is connected to the higher up. But I think this is a really good conversation. So let me just put this Prince value here. I said, Martin, if you are telling us that there is a shepherd association here for Liberians, then I am telling you that there are many shepherds in the East Coast who are not aware of this organization. I believe that such I believe such an organization should be inclusive. But I think you want to speak to that?
Yes, yes, Mr. Prince. I want to thank you for that. Again, this is why we're here, because we're trying to create awareness. We're trying to create awareness. Our goal for 2020 and 2021 was to create awareness, to bring shippers together. So please reach out to me, inbox me, and we can talk. We can talk, and we'd love to have you on board because we need some fresh ideas. We need some fighters. You know, this is a hard fight. It's not easy. Because sometimes the same people you're fighting for, they're fighting you. It's
Oh yeah.
not easy. It's not easy. So, so I rather we want you guys to come on board. We have a lot more shippers on the East Coast. Reach out to us. Let's come together and let's unite and let's fight together. We're not saying everybody will ship under one name. No, we're saying that we just want to come under this umbrella of shippers, or more a union. So we're forming a union that we can all advocate together. So when we go in to advocate to the government, we're not going as you going to fight by yourself, Mr. Prince. I'm fighting by myself. We're fighting together. That way, government listen. Because
So
like Mr. Tool was saying, if we decide and say, you know what, since the government not listening to us, because maybe you guys don't care about Liberian the diaspora, Liberian businesses, so we will stop. Now, if we all decide to stop together, look, we can shut that country down. That's not what we want to do. But we want the government to see that, look, we play a vital role in the economy of Liberia. So we need that respect. We need that courtesy. We need to be at the table. They're making decisions on things that affect us. Like Mayor Santefe, for example. Mayor Santefe, after they started that in October, we protest. We work with the broker association. They went slow. They stopped all businesses. The president got involved and he said, you know what, we'll suspend Mayor Santefe taking over until January. But guess what? When I just received my continuing custom duty, Mayor Santefe name was on the paper instead of BVAC.
That's why I want to tell you. And the next thing is that Mr. So, Mr. To, Liberia or Guinea, Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, Togo, Liberia is the most expensive port.
Yes.
Liberia. I got a pro forma from China to ship something to Liberia. I think the highest was 1,900. I think Ivory Coast, I think 1.8. Guinea was 1.8 or 1.9. The higher was 1,900. That same quote for Liberia was 4,000 plus. 4,000 plus for Liberia. Liberia is the most expensive port now around the neighboring country there. Then yes, society. The managing director last year said they were sending people to this country to find out what they're doing, that the shipping cost tariff is low. These people went for the feasibilities, they came back. What Liberian government did, they shoot the price up instead of lowering the prices. So you see today some people ship through Guinea.
Oh.
Go and get the country to bring the
and they drive the car to the border.
Yes.
The revenue are supposed to go to government. You pay the same
charge to the time. There was a flat rate for boxes. Chester had a flat rate for boxes and barrel.
All right.
It was flat. So when you ship in box, you know exactly the customer knew how much they were paying for that box.
This is part of the problem here. Pat Joy, we get a very weak, lazy, no idea, dead opposition in the country. They are seasonal opposition.
Oh, Jesus.
They don't. No. They don't address this issue. The only thing they address something that is in their interest. That's it. When it's for you, Martin, this 1 year, forget it. They just only talk. There are summertime politicians in our country there. They talk one day, they wait until the next summer comes before they talk on anything. And what can actually be their engagement? Zero, zero. We're about to get ugly here. But before we, Martin, again, for us here on LPR, we showcase anything that is of Liberia, that has a good footing for Liberia, not just politicians. They don't usually come here because when they come here, they know there's something, so they don't usually come here. But any good thing that comes out of Liberia with good idea, however, your ideas too will be questions, will be critiqued. We'll put it under the microscope as to whether it's a genuine one for the good of the country. So I want to encourage you, whether you're in or out, we want to have a kind of communication and will not be conclusive in your argument at the same time, because the more information that we have, we will also engage the government. So we need to we can be afraid of them, we can respect them as our leader, but our engagement tool must also be constructive.
Right.
We can't just say don't do this. Okay, if you don't want me to do this, you have to supplement it with something.
Right.
And that's what I was coming to. You said, well, we didn't say we also make a proposal. So you being a classroom teacher, you know how to find solutions. I can easily make that guess how to find solution because you know mentor young people. So we would really love to have this. It shouldn't be a one-time conversation. Don't leave from here today and go and END at the end of the show. No, 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 no. It shouldn't be that way. We want to have a sort of continuous conversation so that people there they will know that we are serious as well.
Thank you.
But I wonder what we can do is to have this sort of savored conversation, not this sort of abusing time. Because I myself, if I'm in position, you cost me, I'm not going to listen to you. The day I ask you to come to my office, when you come, I close the door, then I punch in your mouth. Then the next time when you don't have no teeth, you will not have the right of course.
Well, in Liberia or here in America?
It can be anywhere.
Well, you do it here in America, I'll sell my teeth for $10,000 one piece. One piece, 10,000.
So please let's have this conversation going. We wish you luck. Share with us information, and where it's necessary, we'll always call you or call. In fact, when you come back, whatever it is, we want to have the entire team members. So we want to see how these team members is. I like the decentralization process everywhere here and there. Unless you guys can come together as a one force, that would be something. Mr. Toll, he strikes something. He's a liberal. I don't usually agree with him, but he strikes something good. We do not want to strangulate our government, but we also want to make our government to know that we are part of the economic growth systems in the country. And that's exactly what you are doing. So I think it's a good start, but we'll keep eyes on you, man. You know what I mean? Because you can't talk here and then we're going to give a free pass. No, we don't do that, IO.
Thank you.
Right.
I got your number. I'll get in touch with you.
Yeah, thank you. Please do. And again, we want to thank you guys for giving us the platform. Sorry that Mr. Woods couldn't come on, but maybe next time we'll.
I couldn't capture image, but I know Philip from way back.
But next time we'll organize ourselves and come back again so we can talk with especially if we have a delegation going to Liberia, because one of the things is, look, politics is the problem for Liberia. Politics is a problem for Liberia. Because of politics, a lot of people don't look at the big picture. Everybody in it for their side, for their players, but at the end of the day, we can look at the interest of Liberia. Here you're calling people to go back, the year of the return, but you're making things so difficult that when we go back, it's like we have to pay all these high fees.
Yes.
All these high fees for nothing. For example, my mother missed her flight because they say, you know what? You have to go fill out something on the app. You have to take the test. She took the test, didn't get the result. She missed her flight to go to Liberia. But when she got to Liberia, then you say, oh, even though you took that within 24 hours or 48 hours, you negative, but you still got to pay. Those are some of the things. So they need to look at the big picture.
I didn't get my own result on my phone.
Yeah, they need to look at the big picture. For example, if I want to go to Liberia, that's another avenue. We try to reach out to the government. You can make money by having destination visa, have tourist visa. If you come and you buy a watch, why should I drive all the way from Ohio to Washington, D.C., wait all day, rent a car and do all of that when I can I went to Kenya, I went to Europe, I bought my visa right there. I went to say, oh, how long you staying for? 3 months? They get my tourist visa. I went. You're trying to welcome people in the country. So when you do some of these things to generate fund in different ways, then that way it takes the pressure off the business people.
Okay.
Everybody playing. We need to look at the big picture. So again, our people in the diaspora, y'all need to work with us. We all know in this country, before you ship things, before you mail something, you got to pay for it. Please help your shipper, because these are some of the reasons why Liberian business doesn't last. Because what people will wait for you to take that thing, ship it, clear it. When I come and pick it up, I will pay you the money. Yeah, how you expect to get the thing to the port?
money.
My mother died yesterday. By the time he left, they called me. I got to tell about it to the
So
funeral.
we have to be
But
serious.
before you go, somebody wrote something here earlier. This group that you're putting together, which is good idea. What happens if any of those people misbehave in your organization by seizing people property or misplacing people? Do they come to you as an organization, or they address the individual directly?
These are some of the things that we put in place right now. This is why we're trying to reach out. We're trying to get more members because we want to have different committees where people can reach out for these things. We don't want it to be another Liberian organization where you just have one or two people running the organization doing all the legwork. We want to get people who are willing to work, For this to be successful, we all have to work. This is not a Martin thing. This is not a Bill thing. This is not a T. Warnock thing. It's not a Joseph Jackson things. No, this is for everybody. So if we come together and work together, it will be successful. So for example, I shipped somebody thing 9 months ago. This person haven't paid me yet.
Send an email to me.
I have that thing. These are permanent people in the community. That thing in the web, but guess what? These are the same people that's sporting the shipper's name. Or the person took my thing. Now, if a thing stay in my warehouse, the weather erode it, or a rat got into it, and you say, "Oh, the man took my thing, he spoiled it." So we have to be serious if we want to change Liberia. Especially us that live in a system where there's structure. We have to respect each other. That's how it comes. Because the government today are the same people today can be the government tomorrow. So if we doing things like this, when we get in the government position, we will still do these same things. This is why we have the problem. So we need to be serious. We need to be serious, and we will not stop talking. I appreciate you guys inviting us. Next time we're gonna have more members come.
We're gonna share some ideas here next time, so we can have a real lengthy conversation. So Mr. Martins is in with Liberia Diaspora Shipping Association. I want to thank you for your time, and please, in fact, you are in Liberia, just contact me. We get our studio there, so sometimes we need to do it right on ground there too. So let's keep the connection going. We really, really appreciate that.
Just 1 minute, please.
And we can have that. What's your closing statement?
Yes, again, I want to thank you guys. Let me call you back, please. I want to thank you guys for this. The Liberian Public Radio, Mr. George, Mr. Toe, and Mr. So. I really appreciate you guys. I'm excited to be here because I watch you guys, and follow some of the things that you guys discuss. I know Mr. Toe is a fireman. I always laugh when I hear it.
It's about to be taken to the slaughterhouse.
But I want to say thank you again to our people in Liberia. Hey, we all want Liberia to win. Right. We all want Liberia to win. Our president is a soccer president. He know how to win. So we all want Liberia to win. And for Liberia to win, one person can't just score the goal. Before that person score the goal, you need midfielder to pass to distribute the ball. You need a number 3 to cross the ball. You need a goalkeeper to save the goal. Because you can score all the goals, but if they're scoring on the opposite team scoring you guys, you can't win. So we all need to play together. We in the diaspora, we're doing business. Look, give us a break. We're not saying we want to do things free. We just want look. For example, they're passing the budget. They're going to buy new cars for senators and representatives. You think they're going to go to the Liberian used car or car association? No, the Liberian Car Dealer Association. You think they're going to go to them? Look, we need 40 cars. Who can provide it? Because at the end of the day, they feel like Liberia will be threat. If you're rich, you want to be president. That's the problem with Liberia, But at the same time, we are the one investing in the country. We are the one building the country. We are the one. Look, just like the Indian people that go and hustle in Liberia, the Chinese people, and take it to the country, we're doing the same thing in the diaspora. We hustle and we take our money into the country too. We're building houses, we're building businesses and stuff. So give us a break. Make Liberia a business-friendly environment.
They will not do it.
Make it.
They will not bring hand again. They will not say about bring rice. They take the money and get rid of Lebanese guys.
Yes. It's not taking anything away from the government. It's just making look, Guinea right now, Guinea have some plan in place for shippers, for people doing business in Guinea. So sooner or later, a lot of people are going to start shipping in Guinea. There's new leader. That's what he's doing. He built a new system. making a flat rate, putting system in place to make business easy and friendly, because he want to bring businesses into the country. But if you make it so hard, look, I can't take the risk. So please, please have mercy. Have mercy on us.
Okay.
Create a system of
So
friendly system.
let's keep this conversation going, Mr. Zinwit. We really appreciate that, and we will keep this conversation. Thank you for your time, and we're looking forward to have you here again. And don't hesitate to always share information with us as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Well, folks, the conversation is about to derail. This is Liberia Public Radio. The conversation gets underway. Welcome, Mr. Amos Joyce. Let's get the conversation going. What happening now? Who's on Liberty Party? The struggle continue. Grand Basso or Nima County. See who is holding who in fight over the power struggle within Liberty Party. Most struggling information coming out this evening. I am Afonso Zayenso of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv, the Liberal Progressive Liberty Party base, USA, with extensive support in Liberia, where versus stand. Which way is the Liberal Progressive? Amos George, I want to say welcome from Liberia to you. Looks great. You looks more energized than ever before. The Liberal was always batching here, praying so that you can come back. I didn't even tell him that you're going to surface here. Tonight, that's how you see him. He was so completely disoriented, but he was forced to greet you because he's a human being. But look, we now know what is happening. Let's get a little bite of what is unfolded today. Let's see this here. Let's see this here.
This evening, about 2 hours ago, the National Election Commission believed that saw the issue of which constitution the Labour Party currently is coupled with. You will, at the end of this press conference, this is a formal press statement. Also, we have a copy of the National Election Commission. I have a video.
Okay, the Liberal Progressive, good evening and welcome. How are you today?
Yeah, you are. You can hear you.
I can't hear. Are you talking to me? My sister's not working right now.
Oh God, this guy
Why is it? Listen to the other guy here. He said, listen to the Samson. I hear for your business. It's been everybody. Why everybody? Well, I'm here. Thank you, Mr. So. Thank you very much.
Numbly and why he said why he ability there. Okay, so let's have a conversation here. This is insane. This is ridiculous. Who is the rightful owner of Liberty Party now, as we speak?
Mr. So, I think I predicted that last night when we had the conversation, that when it's all said and done, this party is going to be split, and you're going to have the Bassa Liberty Party, and then you're going to have the Manigo Nimbanian Liberty Party. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Liberty Party, and it's very sad. It's very sad because those of us that have been associating ourselves with Liberty Party for a very long time, we know it's a very good party. We know that it's a party of integrity. There's no question asked. However, these are kinds of stuff when you're going to get involved into political arena or political marriages and things like that, or whatever you want to call it. You have to make sure you vet each other and make sure that you have trust in each other. This entire debacle with the Liberty Party is strictly based on trust. They don't trust each other, and therefore they behave the way they do. Now,
They do.
I'm talking about Musa Ability, the Dallas Dillon, the Honorable Nyamdi Kanga, Lawrence,
Kanga
who is
is
the
Nyomi Kanga. Is she to be trusted? Samson told.
yes. All of them should be trusted, but they don't trust each other. That's the point that I'm making. The point here, Mr. So, look, listen, these people are capable of leading. However, you can't have this kinds of serious split in the party strictly because of the due pay. The person has not paid their due, for which you're going to have two parties. No, this is much deeper than that.
But
And,
I'm glad you point to that, because you try to sound you want to start being very disingenuous here. And you want to kind of give it a kind of good structure here, but we want to come to that. Pa George,
Look,
can we trust Nyombli Kanga Lawrence? Can we trust Daros DeLon and all of the other folks? Because we got to recall more of what is happening within the beltway of the Liberty Party today. Our monitoring the sister network from Musa Ability, based on his statement. I don't know what is true, but based on his statement.
let me say to the liberal, I know Yomli Kanga is your sister, but Yomli Kanga and Darren Dillon are the problem today in the Unity Party. I mean the Liberty Party. Maybe you don't want to say because they're your sister, but Yomli Kanga and Darren Dillon, they are destroying that party. You see, let me just try to get a little perspective on this thing. Darren Dillon, at that convention, he was one of those who advocated for Musa Belete to ascend to power. When Musa Belete was giving them all this money, they didn't see no Madingo rating on that money. They didn't see no Madingo rating on that money. When Musa Belete was sponsoring them, they didn't see no Madingo rating on it. Because the grief for power now is now they are telling Musa Belete he's a Madingo man. These people are not honest. And if these are the people that we depend on to lead Liberia, sorry. The Daros Dillon, the Yomli Kanga, they are not honest people. They are not honest broker. They are not reducing their thing to Bassa party. Let me ask them, where were they when Bronsky had Musa Belete at the time? They didn't see Musa Belete as a Madingo man at that time. When Bronsky was in the party, they didn't see Musa Belete as a Madingo man. The party which yourself Bronsky put together had people from different ethnic backgrounds were in the party. Today they are seeing now they're forming the Bassa party because they agree for power. And let me push back to the liberal. I do not want you to use the word Nima Madingo party. No, it's absolutely wrong. When Belete joined that party, he didn't take a bunch of Madingo people and carry with him in the party. He went there as an individual and he worked in the party. You know it. From Brodsky that he worked. You did not see him as Madingo man when he was working. It's not today people want to blame him as Nima Madingo Liberty Party. No. It's because the greed for money. Yomli Kanga and Dillon today destroying that party, which they said their father from Bassa created. But they forgotten to know that that party was not based on Bassa people. There were people from around Liberia that came together to found that institution. But today now, because the greed for power, they are reducing that party to tribal thing. But where will they go? This is the question. So I don't want nobody to blame Musa Belete According to what Musa Bete is saying, they have not brought any document contrary to what Musa Bete is saying. Now, you're talking about dues. If you are in any organization that you run it, a vibrant organization, why would people who there don't want to pay the dues? And these people are executive members, by the way, they are enjoying the right and privilege of that institution. Why they don't want to pay the due? When they are the one who advocate for transparency.
Not just put aside due, their fair share.
Yes,
fair
the
share.
fair share.
They want to punch on people. That's just being dishonest. Okay, let's pause here a little bit because the Liberal seems to be forcing by Rick Perry when he was on the debate stage there. So he can say we have come to kind of like collude against it. The Liberal.
Mr. So, I expect this thing. I'm not surprised. He came back from Liberia, energized, like you said, you correctly stated. He came back from Liberia, energized, joining you and hoping that you will be able to sideline the Liberal. It's not going to happen. The Liberal is here. Mr. George knows this. Now, let me tell you, both of you, the conservative, let me tell you this. Look, and I sound like Mr. George now when he ready to say you ain't thing about my ain't thing. Let me tell you. Then he ready. So, Mr. George, back to you. Let me tell you. Look, on a very serious note, the whole entire process, what I predicted last night, Mr. George, was that this thing gonna split. And I'm not trying to say Musa Belete is a Nima or Mandigo. That's not the point. I've been saying for a very long time that you cannot have somebody to spend out or dole out certain amount of money in a political party, and you expect the man not to get something in return. That is unacceptable. Then you're not being sincere. These people sat there. They allow yes, one of the things Musa Belete even talk about today, the vice standard bearer of Liberty Party, Harry Kamwe or something like that. When Councillor Bronskin left, he was supposed to be the person, and they decided to do this inside whatever they call it.
You need to tell us because you are part of
I'm telling you now. I'm telling you what it is. And they decided to do whatever inside track they had. Look, Mr. So, what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to join you to destroy my party. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit here and call names and tell you this. I will just tell you in general. Now, whatever you want to read into it, it's up to you. But I'm not going to sit here and call name this person, this. I'm not going to do that. Now, when the former vice presidential candidate, the former vice standard bearer, when he was not successful in getting that, Mr. So, now that's another issue that Liberty Party going to have to face. When normally my political leader came
this party needs a dissolution.
Completely. Mr. So, you are not a member of Liberty Party. You're not a member of Liberty. You have no saying. I am a register. You have my registration. So please let me say, Liberty Party, as I say to you, Liberty Party is a very strong and integrity-filled party. Let's put it that way. There's no debate on that. Now, what is happening right now, Mr. So, in my party? It's very shameful and it's very hurtful, to be honest with you, because you have young people who love this party because the party stands for something, and now you have these people who are so distrustful to each other. They are unable to even compromise to have issue resolved. A few months ago, Musa Belete was on air telling, "Oh, everything's okay now. We're fine," but it wasn't. They knew it, but they decided to play the game. The game is over. These people, in fact, not over, over. The game is over. These people need to put themselves together. And seriously deal with this. But the good thing about it, Mr. So, before I take my seat, the good thing about it is this. All of these things, from the CPP wrangling, from us Liberty Party fighting each other, good thing is happening now, because Liberians will then see the true self of CDC trying to infiltrate into the CPP, trying to disrate
What the heck are you talking about?
Mr. George, I'm talking. The CDC are trying to infiltrate, not even trying, they have infiltrated the CPP, trying to split up us. But here's what we're going to do today. This is not going to work, because we're going to come back and come back strong. And Dr. Bakar will be the next president of the Republic of Liberia. And I don't care what people call me on their Facebook, Mr. Tori. Here's the thing. They're hearing thing my mom, my hearing thing your mom. They can do nothing. I'm Raku, the liberal progressive.
Yeah.
Let me take this call here, and then I'll come back to you. Caller, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
How you doing, Mr. So it's me, Elvis, calling from Minnesota.
Hey, Elvis. Good evening, buddy. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to touch on the Liberty Party issue quickly. I'm going to say something quickly that might be a bit controversial.
Well, it's at your own expense. Go ahead.
Yeah, the person said, my mind is a bastard, almost I can say it. Say bastard posted and land for smoked fish. I blame the party scene of the Liberty Party, the common party scene. You can't be a part of an institution and you don't pay due. When a man comes, you see like Jesus Christ who come and save your political party by buying bicycle and cars and giving it to you, and you put all your weight behind him. Mr. Tour is a part of the Liberty Party. To be honest with you, if I was in Liberia today, the Liberty Party would have been the party I chose. Because why? It was built on a solid foundation, as a political institution. But seeing what's happening right now is simply based on the lack of people willing to sacrifice financial, or the financial resources for the betterment of their party. You got 4 senators in the party. Steve Zago should have been the chairman of that party. Steve Zago is a man who has a lot of political power in that country, comes from a large constituent in local country, should have rightfully been the chairman. But because of so-called Youngly Kanga coming from Grand Bassa and is a so-called Bassa people party to give it to a woman who is not willing to put her neck on the chopping board to take over the party and spend her money, she gave it to Musa Ability. So right now, the people who in the Liberty Party who call themselves Liberty Party partisans, they are at fault. They didn't pay the money, they didn't pay the dues. The party was broke. They bring in a well-known, unscrupulous character like Musa Ability and took over the party. So nobody's except the Liberty partisans. That's all I can say. I just want to make that quick.
Okay, thank you. Let me go to this other caller here. We're going to bump into these numbers that are coming here. 609 number 2492. What's your name and where you calling from?
I'm Abraham. You got calling from New Jersey.
Okay, AB, if you were to call, you try. Good evening and welcome to the show. What's your take?
Yeah, thank you very much. I just want to say about this Liberty Party. I've been monitoring them. I've been monitoring Musa Ability. I've been monitoring Yombly, for that press conference. But however, what I will have to say here is that you see, when people are running and they say the leper is coming in town, and because you're strong, you say no, I will not run away. I won't see the leper before I harm myself. The leper will catch you. When Musa Ability business came out and people started saying that Musa Ability is on a mission, people.
Yeah, go ahead.
So they decided to bring Mr. Ability in because of money. And money is the evil of all things. So right now, let Yummy and the Dara Dillon fight their fight. When I'm from Basel, but I will not say anything right now about that party. Let Musa Ability run because Musa Ability say the party that is party. I overheard he said my party. So he's taking the party now to.
Yeah. Okay. So okay. So, but quickly here, also Liberians, are you? Let me just ask you that, and you are at liberty if you want to make that full disclosure. Are you a partisan of, or you a supporter of Liberty Party, AB?
No, I'm not a partisan.
But based on what here, in 2 seconds here before I go to the next caller, we really want to get a take because this is, and I told a liberal yesterday, but he's always, I don't know, this is not Liberty Party affair now. This is Liberia's affair. And that's how I want us to discuss it, because why these parties are seeking for the higher office of the land. Based on the information that you are hearing so far, where is your apprehension? Where are you doubt? What are you doubting? What is your own view?
Well, my own view is that the people that were in power just don't want for someone to take power.
Okay.
And so they are doing everything they can that this person don't take power. So they're trying to bring in confusion into the parties that
who is bringing the confusion?
What is Ellen Johnson Salif? Ellen Johnson Salif. Working on everything.
Okay, hold on. Let me go to Liberia here. This is quite fascinating. Hold on, like it's on a WhatsApp, so I'm gonna put your on hold. Let me go inside Liberia. They are feeling the heat. Liberia, good morning. Oh boy. Hello, Liberia, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, Ty, good morning. Ty, thank you for calling this late hour here. That's you consider as a patriotic citizen, knowing what is going on. What's your name and where part of Liberia you calling from?
I'm Terry Down, calling from Grand Bassa County.
Grand Bassa County. Let me go to Grand Bassa County this evening, whether Orange Grove or whatever. So, tell us why you calling from Grand Bassa. I don't want to come to the conclusion that you are Bazodian, but what is happening right now? What is the conversation in the street of Grand Bassa with this whole Liberty Party? That's the Bible of the late Councillor Charles Walker Bronskin, the godfather of Liberty Party. What is the conversation in the streets of Grand Bassa?
Okay. Anyway, once again, I'm Terry Stay Down from Nimba Basin Grand Bassa Plantation. But for me, one thing I was there from the Liberty Party. From the day I started thinking about Liberty Party, I now see anybody from elsewhere beside Bazolan to be the standard of the party. That's what the people always say. So breaking people, most of them, I'm like, something is breaking down, bringing somebody to stand it up for you. They brought these most ability guys who are standing the party so they can be able to come by and move for the people. Because whenever I go on the street, they always say, Yomi Kanga always sold the party to the Tuzu people. Now the simple got me to go back and take over the party. And when organization is when you organize an organization and the people are not paying a due, how will you carry on maintaining? So for that reason, no, if you not pay your due, they may have the right to suspend you. And you have no constitution for that. So when you suspect other people who form the party or who in the party, that are not people first. I was on the street, I heard a lot of story about that.
So
you see a lot of things. And the party is, by the way, we say, our party. So when they believe in this and they continue with this, the party will never go anywhere.
Wow.
So we never go anywhere. Because they believe that, oh yes, the party was for our forefather. The party was given to us by our father Bronskin.
So the see it as a Bronskin party or Bronskin property instead
That's
of
a Bassa entity
of some institution.
For me, we believe that the party is for the Bazolian.
Okay.
So whenever you bring another person more elsewhere, you now work with that person with a winning man.
Oh, okay. All right, my man. Thank you so much being awake this hour in Grand Bassa. Let me come back here. The heat is also on here in the USA with this whole Liberty Party saga. Some of us saw this coming. Let's go back. Let me go back to my line here, gentlemen. Sorry, but we just wanted to make sure to get a take from inside Liberia as well. Okay, 609 number 2492. Are you there?
Yes, I'm saying.
Okay, Ty, go ahead quickly, Ty. Make it as brief as possible.
Something I wanted to come up with. So this man said the people didn't pay due. As a chairman, is he ever saying any citation to these people before suspending them?
Citation of what? Citation of what?
If you don't pay your due, as a chairman, if you don't pay your due, you call meeting or you write them and then you tell them, say, look, for
my dear brother, there are some things I saw he said that today. But besides that, let's be honest here. You have Senator Darius DeLong, you have Nobly Kangat Lawrence. The figure that this guy was calling 18,000 this and that is absurd. So I'm wondering how they thought this party was surviving, that it should give them citation to go to dinner hall to come and pay their due, their fair share. Is that what you want us to do?
Not so.
Okay.
So as a leader, even if you get there and the president not paying due, as a leader, you call them and tell them, say, look, gentlemen, for this party to run or for this to happen, you need to pay your due.
But he has
you need to pay your due. If you don't pay your
They
due,
were written. Okay.
I will do this. That's what you have to do. You don't just
but it was not an overnight decision. Those things, they have surpassed that.
He did.
It is not an overnight decision. These things that were talk. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Let me go to the next caller before I go to my guys here. Let's make it brief as possible as we can, so that everybody will have the fair share here. Okay, go ahead. The next caller, 973 number.
Hi, Mr. Soul. You did, Mr. Soul.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing I have to say, first of all, where is Mr. Parker? Nobody can find a way yet. He just disappeared. Is he staying at the area?
Who?
Mr. Parker?
Oh, gee, my goodness. We're talking about Liberty Party. I think Boyka was in.
All right. That's the thing what people not understanding, right? It's clear.
Yes. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead quickly. There are a lot of phone calls coming here, so it's kind of trickling. Go ahead, T. Oh, what happened here? Are you there?
And a half.
Yeah.
You don't need a half compared to you. I just started party to run. What you see, the thing about what country, they don't used to paying bills. Other things will never be intact the way it's supposed to be. You want somebody to give you something, but I had been running the political party in that country, and then people thinking behind them, voting for them, because they used to put things in order. Now, most of them were on to this. Here's the thing that bothers me. If they were suspended, she Yumbi was suspended, and the law was suspended, I can let suspend most of them at the same time. I thought if they want to do anything, they're supposed to appeal their suspension, not to go back and sustain if they got no power to do that. And not only that, they only show themselves what they're about. Okay? These are the things we all said it, and I personally said it. They don't got power for 9 years. You have been in power for 9 years. So they don't care about the common people. Okay? Now they're fighting to be who would be vice president. At the end of the day, if they destroy CPP, they don't still keep their job. You don't still keep a job. They're not good people need to wake up. Either they do this right and start saying all CPP fussing, we know who to carry. We in America, Democrats fought until they came to a conclusion to carry Joe Biden. Liberian people need to wake up.
All right, thank you so much.
Our future and their future. Yes, you see, these people got jobs for the next 9 years.
All right, thank you too. Let me go to the next. Let me go to the next caller here.
She got on the plane. She came to America to high grade for her family.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Let me go to call a lawyer monitor, please. 610 before I go back to the. This is crazy. Are you there? 610 number, I believe, from Australia.
Yes.
Okay. What's your name? Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm calling you from Australia. Can you hear me, please?
Hearing you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm Bernard. My liberal partisan brother. Good morning from my end, sir.
The liberal hearing you.
Yeah. You see, I'm a PRO for the Liberty Party in Western Australia. And we're in the council when he was alive. He used to call us, we call him, and about not speaking for our chairman.
Lower your monitor there because your call that were confusing you. Lower your monitor. Who is the chairman now? Because we don't know who is really in charge.
No, when I say chairman, I'm not speaking about the Australian chairman here, but I'm a PRO guy, public relations officer for the Liberal Party in Western Australia, Leighton Bernard. But the point here is that what happening is so disheartening, you know. Yeah, because Ability, he been one of those that are in the party, which everybody knows. And when the councillor was leaving, he was not chairman. You see, you see what it did? Well, Nubikanga and this guy, Darrell Dillon, they were wrong to forcefully remove Steve Zako. You see, the party should not be run by the two people. They're supposed to do consultation with other people and then to examine whether this guy, the Ability guy, were going to be a good leader for the party, whether he was going to unify the party. But then they went, I'm a security guy, what I suspect, I think the Ability had been planted by, he was planted by Ellen Johnson Sally to disintegrate the entire party. Because, you know, Ellen don't want to go to court. You know, they walk around court.
Mr. Bernard, Mr. Bernard, I got a high regard for you, and I don't think you're going to fade away yet. Why should we bring Helen Johnson Sally? You have your institution. Why would we drag Helen Johnson to say Helen Johnson have this person planted? It was that Helen Johnson, these decisions that were made. Liberal, you need to lift your hair up. We are not, we are on a program. Your people, the viewers want to see you, please. Why would we say that you want to, Helen Johnson is the one that is responsible? Why can't we take responsibility of our own fault?
Ability will not behaving like how he behaving. Ability came into the party, he always, you know, act like a decent guy. But right now, you see what let's say immediately, do you know?
Okay, 30 seconds before, so I'll go back to my guys. Go it up.
The election commissioner in the United States, because of the party wrangling, right away, she put a memo that, nobody can, and she recognized, how to call it, Musa Ability as the chairman. And then Nubli Kanga and other are not recognized. So this is how I conclude, because it's not fair.
Okay.
So I knew that CDC have been manipulating this thing, but they will fail. Totality, they will fail. Georgia will be defeated. And you understand? 2023. They'll just do all what they want to do, but they will never succeed. I can guarantee you. The CPP will hold even ability and go to take the party to, how they call it, to CDC, the red Dillon and Nubli Kanga, the other, they will go to Wakai, and then they will kick CDC off. But it is not fair. There is nowhere under the sun race where a chairman, right, can just suspend all the executives. If they prove me wrong, then I will apologize to him. Where under they have you under this sun today? Okay. Where you can just suspend the entire executive of the party. It's not fair. Okay. Suspend thank you very much, but it's not fair. So that means something clandestine going on here.
Okay.
Nice talking to you. Thank you for.
All right. Look, Pa Joyce.
Yeah.
I got it. I will want you to take the front bench on this one here, because the Liberal that now he putting you on smile because he has secretly called his person to come to his rescue. Look, give me a break. This is not realistic. Why people can hold themselves responsible if they need to be held to responsible, accountable of their own doing? What effect Helen Johnson Sirleaf has to fry in this whole thing here, and they try to tangle the old lady now in her retirement, enjoying herself, they dragging her into Liberty Party affairs. Does that make sense? It doesn't add up to me.
I will use some, the late Karen Kabel used to say, let me use some Sunday school words. Complete nonsense. You know, Mr. So, what is happening? This is typical Liberian people. Every time something, when they destroy themselves, they want to hold other people responsible. That shifting blame. This is typical Liberian people. People when they saw that CDC, or that ain't gonna sell it.
CDC got on our bags. They can't even handle their jokes.
Anytime Mr. So you see people going like that, Liberian people don't want to take responsibility when they know the wrong. They want to shed blame, and this is why the supporters of Yomli Kanga and Darius Dillon are doing again. Darius Dillon, has he come out to say, look, I pay my due, or this is the constitution that the people violated for suspending, or has he come up? This guy who got a big mouth, has he come up? Yomli Kanga, has Yomli Kanga come out to say, you know what happened? We pay our due. In fact,
but he didn't lie. This guy, he lied again. The Constitution.
The guy is a liar.
That's not even the Constitution in possession or anything.
No. So here is the thing. The chairman of the party, he is the one that run the day-to-day affairs of the party. It's not the political leader. It's not. Let it go back to their own constitution. That's the immense part they gave the guy because the guy was giving them money at the time. So they didn't see anything. They gave him that among the power, thinking that there was a stupid Madingo man they have ever seen they come to use again. Now he flipped the coin, then they don't know what to do now. You yet again the other surrogate that Eddie Johnson sell it. Oh,
I don't want this guy. He looks sorry for me.
So when we're talking to him, let us go back to the constitution of these people of the organization. The last time the Secretary General was in Monrovia, he went in the air. He said they wrote these people, reminding them of the deal. They refused. He said, see exactly the Secretary General that he said he will not pay 1 cent. So you want to tell me you are in an institution, you are in an organization. The bylaws and constitution require that you pay your annual due. You refuse to pay it, but you benefit from the institution. So what is wrong with it? The people that run it, when they suspend you, what is the problem? If you know the suspension was wrong, bring your receipt, bring your constitution, and show to the Liberian people. Then we will say, okay, what this man did, he trying to grab power. But none of them have done so. They are now running. They say they're going to find another party. They're going to another party. But let me just leave it on this note. I will say that the Senator Dillon, he's not an honest man. This guy is a user. This guy issued a check to front page. Mr. Soy, when I check the line of displacement on 50-50, those checks bounce back. Dillon is not a credible man. And this is what they did. After taking all that money from Bertie, getting all that power, today now Bertie is exercising the power. Now they are running. They cannot show to the Liberian people. What is the law that you say the man does not have this power? What is the constitution? You say you're going by the 2015 constitution. But you went banger. You elected this man, you gave him power. It was that constitution you used there. You didn't use that constitution. Now you want to grab power now and you say you're going back to old constitution. Who gave that authority? The election commission said they don't recognize you. You said the people suspended you. You said you notify it. But now you say, oh, I suspend them. Where Darrell did and Yomli Kanga taking the Basa party, as they call it. It is absolute shameful on these people. They are wrong ability. They wrong, let me say not ability, but they wrong the official of that party. Now they're talking about this and that. Sharon Bronsky, where is she today? She on Belize's act. The daughter of Bronsky, they are all in Abelede camp. So what are they going to do? Let Yomli Kanga and the grief of power. People should come and tell them the truth. The grief of power today is one now, Darrell Dillon and Yomli Kanga. They are not destroying something to party as he alleges. Because I don't know whether he paid due in America or he paid due in Liberia. I don't know. I want to see Mr. Toh on a receipt. Because I don't want to see him after again. Where is your receipt that you paying due to the Liberty Party that you people not today talking about? Okay. All I can say to the Latino people.
Let me bring in the liberal.
Yeah, they should just tell Dillon and Yomli Kanga and the Basel you had destroyed our party.
So, yeah. Okay, caller, you gotta hold on. You gotta hold on a little bit here. Let me bring in liberal, and I'm gonna be a little bit illustrative here. Liberal, before I bring you, I'm gonna be a little bit illustrative here. LPR, we don't usually beg. Once in a while, we ask people to do, but we have our financial obligation. George, correct? We pay our internet services and give a little token to our guy. But one thing we don't let go is the internet service with Lpr-Tv in Liberia. And you, the laborer, you know that very well. Before the first of every month, I have tons of your contribution that you send. It goes strictly to the account. And we made it crystal clear that if you can't keep up to that, then you can't be board chairman. Because as a board chairman, you need to go out there to find fundings for the institution, for the administration to work. And that's why before the month end, 5 days to the month end time, you send your fair share. And sometimes you take away. So why is this lady, what is funny that is she laughing right now? Why is she laughing when we're talking about Liberty Party, the turmoil that we are in today? What is staggering, the revelation today from Musa Ability, this whole thing here is surrounds her because she wants to be vice president.
Yes.
I was stunk when I heard that news from the meeting that was held. Today is coming out. Darius DeLong, we said this, but you know what is good for Liberia? Liberia or Liberians, the country always love byproducts. Anything that is good for Liberia,
will be
good
rejected.
They don't want it. Any good person can. Once you are a guy that for a drama, once you are political satire, once you play and tweak the minds of the people, everybody falls into it. The liberal.
Mr. Joy spoke for 5 minutes. You spoke for 3 minutes, 7 minutes total with your conservative view.
So you were checking our time?
Of course. Because I knew very well when I start, both of you going to interrupt. When you guys were talking,
okay, so let's do this. Let me go to this caller here and I'll come right back.
There we go.
You're going to have your 10 minutes. 610-612 number, are you there? 612 there. Okay, come on. Go ahead.
What's wrong with your phone? What's wrong with your mic?
Libra, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Now,
okay,
let's do this, Mr. So. First thing is this. I'm not paying any more due. You can suspend me and do whatever you want to do. I'm not paying a dime anymore. Go ahead and suspend me, and then I can have an independent LPR as well. Because we're now never got independent.
So the extension from Liberty Party, you want to break it into LPR?
Yeah. No, on a very serious note. I heard both of you ranting and carrying on. I was very quiet. You think you got me? You got nothing on me. Your hair ain't fading my more. My hair ain't fading your more. There's nothing you're gonna do. I'm block cool. You can't face me. Both of you conservative with your conservative idea. This young man went to Liberia, re-renovate himself, come back with all the energy, and now you want to spend that energy on me. It ain't happening. It's not gonna happen. Mr. So, he can't help you. Now, let me throw this to you guys. Liberty Party. Mr. So, somebody wrote here, says Samson to registration membership. He has no signature on.
Membership from World Trade Center. Mr. Nimler say your membership from World Trade Center. What?
Yeah, whatever.
The guy is having no signature on it.
Don't worry about it. I'm not. All I know, I'm a member of Liberty Party. I've not been suspended. Liberty Party USA. Now, Mr. Soul, this is what you see. You guys, you're so bent on taking down my political leader, so much so that you missed the entire process. Paying due, yes, my political leader. paying due.
What is she laughing for?
Mr. So, because she's happy. She's doing the best she can do
because
for
the party has been self-destroyed.
No, it has nothing to do with party. She's not Liberty Party. She's representing the people of Grand Bassa Country, and she's doing well. Mr. So, if you will let me talk. You guys spoke for almost 10 minutes. I didn't say nothing. Now you're going to interrupt.
You're getting ready to forfeit your time because the time.
Mr. So, will you please let me make my point? You see, this is what you do. But you don't give me chance. You see, somebody right now, somewhere in America or in the world, they're probably throwing things at their TV or their monitor right now. Why will you not let the liberal talk? They're very upset with you, I'm telling you. So, right, but let me say this. Look, both of you missed the mark. I agree the senator perhaps have not paid her due. But please, for Christ's sake, you think these two people?
Why was she?
You think? Let me finish. You think these two people? You think these two people?
$30,000 why they can't pay their due in the
Mr. So, do you know the functionalities of these people with respect to Liberty Party? These people host function on behalf of Liberty Party. These people spend money. Pay people. No, where you please? I mean, no,
this guy is rehabbing the words. That was the one that you're going to take.
You two. I'm not. First of all, and this is the point that I've gotten with both of you. This is what I'm going to say to both of you. Since you're not going to allow me to express myself and tell you what these people have done for the Liberty Party, these two people, you now, both you and Mr. The center right coming here and calling my light, somebody who is not sincere, my light of not being truthful. This is the light. This is the man that shone the light on the Capitol building of the Republic of Life. Now he's not truthful. He's the best man ever. Now let me tell you this about you and the central right here, Mr. So. This is what I got to tell both of you. These two people, Senator Dillon, honorable Senator Dillon, and honorable Lawrence, Senator Lawrence, they have done the best for Liberty Party, and they continue to do their best for Liberty Party. Now, Mr. So, what happened with honorable Musa Ability? I am not in favor of that either. I don't think that it should come down to that. Now that it's here, Liberty Party will do their best to make sure. You see, I'm talking and you're showing all the stuff. You know, they don't move me. You're not going to take me out of my game. Liberty Party is here to stay. Let me tell you. I'm not even going to. I will advise. I'm not even suggest. I will advise you and the center right to stay out of Liberty Party business. You're not member. You don't know us. You got nothing to do with us. You're still out of our Liberty Party business. We ourselves will have the issue resolved. So please find another topic for your show. Since you are a professional journalist, please find another topic for your show. Leave our Liberty Party alone. We will do the best we can and make sure Liberty Party succeed and successfully we will be here. Yes, another thing I want both of you to know. CDC, they're on the bike track. If Dr. Weir and CDT think they're gonna destabilize the CPP, they got another thing coming. Dr. Bakai will be the next president of the Republic of Liberia. However, only if Cummings goes second, which will happen. Cummings will go second to Dr. Bakai, and it will be Dr. Bakai president, and Cummings will be vice president, and we will defeat the CDC sitting government.
So then how do you answer this question? Because
what's your question? Your question?
Yeah, I'm coming. Don't worry. Take a little glass of water. I know your cholesterol pressure, everything going on now. Take it easy. I mean, we don't have that insurance here if there's anything. So how do you reconcile this situation? Because from what we're not hearing from my ability today, the whole genesis of this thing here is because of the argument that they are put forward in a clandestine meeting that was held off camera, and it's spilling out now, deep throat getting it out now, because it was all about Nyomdi Kanga Lawrence to go second to boycott. That was the strategy. And other few bear will within the Liberty Party establishment. Hold on. And said, no, this is not how it works. Yeah, you need to get a little drink. Yeah, that's good. Good job. All right, get a drink.
I'm not drinking because you as the center right think you got me. I'm drinking because
now you are advocating for Cummings to go second.
Mr. So I am realist, and I'm being real about this whole thing.
So then do you support
my political leader does not have what it takes right now to be the vice president of the Republic.
Hey, that's another bombshell.
Wow.
And I want to say this, and you cannot come to this position based on sentiment and emotion. It's not going to work.
I'm interested in what is lacking in your political leader that she cannot be vice
because the point here, because she was elected by Grand Bassa County to serve them.
That's not an argument, Samson.
That's the argument I'm making. I'm allowed to make whatever argument I want to make. When you think I'm going to cut the legs of my political leader before you? No, I'm not going to do that. Now, here's what I'm saying. Honorable Cummings being coming in as vice president will and eventually be president of the Republic of Liberia. Once Cummings become president of the Republic of Liberia, all of these shillinking, all of these corruption, all of these nonsense, if I may say so, will cease. Because Cummings will not.
Where is the nonsense coming from?
Cummings, if you look at Cummings' character, he's not somebody that will want to be the leader and be favorable because you are cussing or brother or whatever.
This guy, you are.
Let me make my point. And therefore, however, Cummings, by me preaching every day, coming to go second, the reason is this: Cummings is not connected to the Liberian people. Cummings told us this himself. I have the audio. I have the video.
No. You've been very disingenuous here.
You want me to play it? You want me to play it?
Play.
You want me to play it?
If you don't play it, I will play it right now because I knew you were going to come to it, so I get it right back in studio.
Okay. Wednesday I will play it, but let me finish my point. So Cummings told us he was not connected. Number one, and since then, since he's not connected, the best way he can do, go second to Dr. Bakai, because Cummings has the ability to lead. But Liberian people have not been able to discover that. Liberian people have not been able to see Cummings demonstrate his leadership. So he can only do that once he successfully becomes vice president and demonstrate to the Liberian people that he has the leadership ability.
You are putting us in a disoriented position here, and I intend not to go there with you because you are flip-flopping here. You're putting yourself in 2-3 multiple.
Mr. This is what I do. I have the ability to compartmentalize issue. I'm now pivoting you and the center right into the Cummings conversation and leaving Liberty. I'm being truthful with you and leaving Liberty Party out of it.
Okay, instead of you now Liberty now is compartmentalizing issue now within the Liberty Party. Since you're not able to.
Why do you always want to discuss Liberty Party? Why must we discuss Liberty Party?
Why can't we discuss the Liberty?
Because we're done with that. You're gonna beat this off to death. Let's leave it alone. Liberty Party will resolve that issue.
Let's hear some of these sound bites from our sister network television today. It's Spoon TV.
As ability, acting political leader. What happened this morning when you guys woke up before going to NEC? What was the step like?
We woke up, some of us went to the party headquarters to continue our planning for our upcoming convention. As you know, our convention is this weekend. And so we were actually at the headquarters in our meetings when we received the letter from the National Elections Commission. And ended that meeting and scheduled the emergency press.
Okay, that was Wadi Power, the treasurer, speaking now. There is.
She's not only the treasurer; she's also the executive, I believe, executive director for Musa Ability Company.
So what's that now?
What's that has to do?
Who asked you to make an introduction of the occasion?
I'm just trying to make.
Why you pulling? Why you are not an octopus? Why are you trying to make yourself like an octopus?
No, I'm just telling you that she's not quite neutral in this.
So, Mr. Toy is trying to divert us from this issue. So he will go all around compartmentalizing this, then dragging onto Cummings, then coming to Wallace Power, so we can just leave Yomli Kanga Delon and Musa Bill along with the Liberty Party issue. But the issue, this is the news that is unfolding. So we will have to go in depth of this issue. It concerns Liberian people, Mr. Liberal, Mr. Soto.
How is it concerning Liberian people? This is a Liberty Party issue. How is it affecting? Because Musa Ability, our good friend Musa Ability, and the political party political leader having some issue, how is it affecting Liberian people from Egypt?
Because these are people
place your camera to the issue of Liberia. Not having good food, the security issue in Liberia, the economic issue in Liberia. This is where you need to focus on. Leave Liberty Party.
Now I see Musa Ability's argument. This is why Joseph Boyka were carrying these, I don't know, Kinu or Ferry.
Yes.
To Nyombli Kangal to buy, to vote, to make her.
Yeah.
He has not even got to that point. So all of these things that Ability is revealing today, that meeting that was held, and it was very much vehement that Nyombli should go as a vice president, and those other people dispositions on that idea that no, it shouldn't go that way. Every member of the Liberty Party have a fair share. It is at the it is the standard bearer, whoever that is elected, but the idea they were pushing that, and I think Bellitate and other folks kind of kick against it. Then it brought in with this whole constitution here. Now we are hearing there's a convention that is on the way in Ganta. That is significant. If that convention survives, if people if people turn out to that convention, I wonder where will be the political career to moving forward of
Mr. So, let's be honest here. And you know me, I don't hold back. This entire process eventually will hurt the political career of these two people, these two senators. Musa Ability is not going to get hurt out of this, whether he's successful or not. He's a businessman. He's not a politician. But those who claim to be politicians and are unable to truly be political in this thing here, by trying to resolve something that is going to be damaging to the image of their political career and whatever it is, for them to not see the future of their political career, then it's very saddening. Now, how do we now, those of us that are preaching for Dr. Baka to be president, the same thing where they see similar situation with, of course, it was very far removed from my own way of thinking. The scene where what's his name, Costa was behaving to Cummings. It's the same thing these two people are doing now with Liberty Party and Musa Ability. Now, how do you now, with this kinds of debacle, and now you're going to go and associate yourself with Dr. Baka, the baggages that you're bringing on from this debacle will not be dragging you to Dr. Baka.
So let me ask you.
I'm being very truthful. This is what I do. I am a liberal.
Something here. Do you see Cummings as an honest guy that really don't want to join these people? They are dead deeds and stuff like that. Do you see Cummings as an honest guy?
Cummings is an honest person. However, Cummings, I believe, Cummings came to this thing here, and I've been saying it for months, and I think both of you can attest to that. Cummings came to this thing trusting, and not verifying. Trusting the people and not verifying their behavior, their dirty political deal in Liberia. Cummings is not, that's what I'm saying. If Cummings had come into this, knowing what is happening now, Cummings would have been made, because they need Cummings to win. There's no question. And Cummings would have utilized that and make sure certain things in place before he had gotten into the political mileage. He didn't do that.
We are about to go here. Knowing all what we know and we are hearing now, do you think it was a political ploy against the ANC and
Cummings
into this whole thing that we're seeing unfolding now?
I I would say so. Mr. So why are you asking kind of question like this here? You really bring too much. We're in public. Now I gotta be truthful. Yes, I agree with yeah. So what?
Oh, yeah.
So what now? Yeah.
So why your old man Boyka, is he not aware of that?
Mr.
He was a master. He's a mastermind.
Can we go back to Liberty Party and have the discussion about Liberty Party and Musability and leave Dr. Baka out of this conversation?
No. We got to bring him in.
You see, this is where you guys. Okay, what is the question? What was your question again?
Is Dr. Baka not in the loop?
Boyka, is he not in the know?
Dr. Baka, to be honest with you, sometimes, and I'll be truthful because that's what we do. I'm not comfortable with Dr. Baka's position in this right now as well. Because as a leader, and someone who prefers to be the unifier, at this point, Dr. Baka needs to step in, whether Liberty Party or not, and make these people to understand that you people wrangling the fact that you are tied with us, the Unity Party, you are tied with the CPP, because if your wrangling is going to
you forget. You put the MESCOG, how you call it, collaborations framework. You remember? Anything that happening in this other people party that not been there, they can face it. So what do you think Baba going to say inside? And
no, at this point, that conversation need to be thrown out of the window. Because if you don't do that, to be honest with you, and I'm being very truthful, and these are all my own view. I'll be very truthful. If Dr. Baka does not step into this thing and Liberty Party go down, it's going to drag the momentum of the CPP.
Dr. Baka will be responsible for the other party going down because
Boyka validated Kangat's argument that everything that happens, it happens on the watch.
Oh, here we go. Now, here comes the community defender again. Yeah, we're done with that. We've done that, been there, done that.
All right, guys. The time has caught up with us here this evening here, but there's still going to be a lengthy conversation. And I just want you to know it's not just a Liberty Party affair. This is Liberia's issue. Boyka wants to be president. Kumi wants to be president. There's some sort of coordination. There's some sort of ties here on this binary called collaboration, which some of us saw way ahead of time. It was a disaster. It wasn't going to hold. It was going to be a chaotic situation because you have greedy people who only want to be in the eyes of the camera. Samson Toll was blowing the trumpet here, defending to the cold bellet of Musa Belity. Today, he has denouncing Belity not do this not do this. If you don't pay a due, today is the what? Today is the what?
You're going to suspend me?
Of course.
Okay, you're going to have to suspend because I'm not. My Liberty Party is falling apart, and you want me to stay with you and your conservative view and the center.
You are responsible for destroying your own party.
You decided to be like children. So Musa Belity now say there's no way that he can't keep buying needle bottle and how they call putting pacifier in all grown-up people since you will learn the hard way. He said, well, an ultimatum, 3 months, 18,000. You can raise funds to pay people to do stuff.
If you stick with that 18,000 and
Mr. So what happened? That cannot go online to raise no more money. He can't go online to raise no more money.
He does not have credibility. We said this thing, but again, the Liberian people, it's hard to defend them. It's very, very difficult because when they are into something, and most of them, they are dunkings, and they want people to rise their back, and some of us refuse to be dunking. So when you tell them it, they say, oh, no, you're jealous. Jealous for what? These people, they are very dishonest. It's all about themselves. And that's about
I don't agree with it. I don't. Yeah. That's your view. That's your view. That's your view. But I don't agree with it.
Yeah, that's the only thing you get straight to rebut. That's my view. That's my opinion. So you agree? You don't?
Yeah, but I don't agree with it because I believe these two people are honorable people.
Are they honorable people? And saw what Musa just said about them because
those are his statements.
No. Hold on. What Musa is saying, Yomni had not come out to debunk that. No, Dylan.
They don't have to.
No. Mr. So, Mr.
Right.
when your character, your reputation is at stake, you have to defend it. Here or anywhere. I cannot just come out and say anything about you. And
I think the whole thing here, what we are looking at now, let's see what happens this weekend. If Lpr-Tv manages to consolidate his position, and if there's a massive turnout, if there's no sort of injunction fight, there's a turnout, that is damaging.
This is what I watch. Hold on, Mr. Judge. What I want you to watch the social media. Watch and see how Musa Lpr-Tv is going to be welcome in Nima County. Watch and see the amount of crowd that he's going to pull in Nima County.
Why do you think it will be that way?
I'm just telling you.
Let me tell you this.
He will pull a lot of crowd. People will be there welcoming him as if the president was arriving.
What do you think would be the reason for that?
Because he's the son of the country, number one. And secondly, he has now conquered Liberty Party and bringing home Liberty Party. That's what I can say.
He broke the donkey's back?
No, but that he's bringing home Liberty Party to Nima County.
Not that. Charlotte Bronskin, it's with Lpr-Tv. And what the other don't realize is politics is power. Money is politics. When you don't have money, you don't go into it. Musa Lpr-Tv bought new brand Toyota Jeeps for those guys who are taking keke.
You're broke. You're broke.
He has funded these guys with all these things. And all the branches, watch it. The convention in Ganta will be successful. That will be, except to go to Kodo, maybe the Kodo other injunction. But other than that,
like Rocco said, you go to call where the financial resources can.
So you know, then the tax they have now, I don't know how they're going to rebrand themselves. But with the Liberty Party, they come from the hand. I met this woman on Wallace Power. I met her the other day. Right after the election, they came from Grand Gideon. When they came, the next day, I met her. Someone took me there. That's a fighter. I met that woman in person that lady. That's a fierce fighter. So that thing what Yomli Kanga and Dylan doing.
First of all, let me just tell you this. And you know, Samson told, and we're going to close on it. Yomli Kanga, to be honest, if you look at the past races, as a powerful person who was a political leader, what did she do to incorporate other women in that place? If you talk to the only person that was in the vanguard with what her name said, I interview her. What this lady? You praise her here, the liberal. Go ahead. With this party here, Mandela Cooper. Normally a savage.
Yes.
He doesn't want anybody, and she just wants to be, because she as
if those are your view, that's my sister. I don't agree with it.
What are your sister? I'm talking about my country. That's how you ought to bring relative thing into the country, and now I get a country to.
Those are your views. She's my sister. I don't agree with it.
In the vanguard to incorporate more ladies to be a powerful people, but you guess what? Because she alone and only her with Darius Dillon to be the only face of it, profess to be the good guys in the place there. When it comes to them, it's okay. When it comes to other people, they push them back. Liberal, that's how we're going to leave here tonight.
But before you leave, Mr. So, before you leave, let me just say this here. I'm getting involved into other issues in Liberia and all that. I can't say much right now, but all that I can say, it's not a job. I'm not looking for a job, and nobody's going to hire me because I don't agree with CDC and I don't agree with many things the CDC and the CDC government is doing. However, there are times that you be truthful. There are things that I've been reading of late that the Minister of Information perhaps is not doing this government a good deal. These are reports that came from our international community about how much this government is trying the best to develop that country. The road connectivity in our country is robust. Let's put it this way. But these people, yes. I got it here. I got it here. I got it here. And it's unbelievable.
The guy is trying to go home on a soft level. So
Mr. Judge, it's unbelievable what these people, as the gold mine, informational gold mine, these people are sitting on, and they're not making Liberian people to know what is happening. What is happening and the way they carry about themselves is unacceptable. These things that when you read them, and right now I am saying here that I will be willing to eat crow of some of the statements that I made about people and the engineers system in Liberia. These people, these are all people from popular world that put this document together. But the issue is, it seemed to me that they were putting these things together to sell it to the international community to get the money. And when the implementation part comes about, they don't do that. However, the government name is all over this paper here. The Propo agenda is all over this thing here. And the Propo agenda has been recognized totally by African Development Bank, by World Bank, by any other bank that is willing to work in Liberia. Because they put binders together. They hire people to put these things together, and they are so unique. So I'm just saying that if the government of the Republic of Liberia can tap into this thing and publicize what they have done, people will know that they are working.
That's one aspect. But you touch on something. The implementation. On paper is good. That's why I'm about to tell you. On paper is good, but the implementation. I hope Mr. So will be going to Liberia next month. Let him go and see those roads that they have constructed. I have no idea. But Mr. Toe, go to Liberia. If you go to Liberia, Mr. Toe, you will cry when you see those roads because you are engineer. I drove through out Monrovia to see the construction of these roads, Mr. Toe.
Let me just throw this whole thing here. It is saddened. You remember Edward Komosaka, the former Minister of Internal Affairs? You remember Kekura Boto? If the opposition, as it stands, and I see what I'm seeing right now, if they are not careful, this thing will slip from out of them. Unfortunately, you also have a ruling party chairperson and internal affairs who should be the connectors with the voters. During the day of Samuel Doe, when he said Edward Komosaka, you know how you used to have the old man when you really said Mr. People, your president, Mr. People, your president. He spends most of his time. He's supposed to be in those villages. Party chairman, you're not supposed to be in Monrovia town like this. You're supposed to be outside of the country, and you only come to town to report. But all of them, they are just the same. So if the opposition are careful with all of this thing in as bad it is with a lot of things, you guys just cause a lot of your Dutch hopes and aspiration for people. And yes, you can't even to realize that. And the big elephant in the room is still sitting down. Things say he giving boat or kingdom to people to tackle. It is just so ridiculous.
From Freeport.
All right, guys.
To Douala.
We got a time has caught up with us here. The Liberal Progressive, I want to thank you so much. We'll be back here. What are you doing tomorrow?
Wednesday. What do you mean? What are you doing tomorrow?
Let's get in the show.
Okay, good night, folks.
Might blow. Holla. Nobody do it like you do it, you a true God. Yes. You always hear me when I say my prayer with few words. For Genesis, and they play in this new world. Read the power every day, and while I'm still a good boy. Jehovah bigger than your problem, so just let it go. Just keep on praying, he will make your blessing overflow. So be the best and more the rest, you gotta pray more. The God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the God of mighty blow. But there is power in your blood, I wanna get.
All right, folks, that's how we're going to put a curtain down here this evening. I want to thank all of you for your time, your tweets, your comments, participation, those of you that I call. Look, this is very serious. It is about our country. I am not a partisan-driven guy, and this is why you people are all helping to facilitate the wrong directions of our country, because you're so much drawn in these politicians. You see them as your political godfather. They are the one that make decisions for you. You want to be like a donkey for people to ride on your back. We need to stop that. Because if these people can manage for a group, an organization, how can they even manage the economy of the country? How can they sit around the table to make informed decisions about the country? That's not what they are doing. Forget about what is going on in the country. Country bad, this one not doing that. Your job is to provide the alternative means for the people to see that yes, we can replace what we have now with this one here. But none of you are promulgating that. They are not even telling us. All we're seeing on a daily basis, every other day, is a drama, it's a chaos and a confusion, disagreement. They can't talk. It's all about power greed. And you just want us to keep quiet. We shouldn't talk. Yesterday, we did not do much talking. If I'm talking about yesterday, I'm talking about the last subsequent election, because the explosions of the media, the social media was not that extensive. I will see it today. But if you think you want to love your political leader or your party than your country, then it's an illusion. Then you are just doing the country unjust, because these people, they will fade away. The Republic of Liberia will ever remains standing. Turbo, Doe, Helen Johnson Sirleaf, Concomitant Sawyer, the 5-man transitional council, the interim assembly, and all of these people, where are they today? They played their part and they left the stage. The Republic of Liberia is still standing. And if you have a political leaders, if you have somebody that you so dearly believe in, that is okay. But you must also have the guts. If these people are not making decisions good for our country, we must stand up for them. Refuse yourself to be like a donkey, because this is the behavior of our politicians. They want us to have us like a donkey to ride our backs. That's not who you are. That's not what you were made for. You should be able to stand up for yourself. If you can stand up for yourself, I will stand up for me. We see those people, you can take them, we can respect them as a leader, but when they are going off track, call their attention. You're not talking to them now. When they get there tomorrow, when they start, then you will come and tell us, knowing what I know now. If I thought, I don't want no thought. We have had too much of this obituary talking point announcement of this politician. It is time to fix it right now. It is ridiculous for you to inject CDC or whatever thing in your own party. These people do not have political tolerance. They do not have good calculation. They do not have no vision, no direction. And this is why the train is derailing. It is why it is right now. They are adults, but they are behaving like toddlers because of all political greed. Everybody, power struggle. That's why I put this image out here. That's why I put it out here. We need to talk to them. They're hauling, I don't know who wants to go to who and why want to be what. Power struggle has factored into our political conversations, and we need to tell them exactly why it is. They don't feel the pain of the Liberian people. They come and tell us Liberian people suffering, and they don't even go to bed and wake up to make good calculations to talk about how the economy on their watch, how the economy will be a priority, how they're going to do this. They created a conspiracy. The CPP was holding Nyombi Kanga, Joseph Boyka, Benena Yuri. They created a conspiracy against one person. And that's why they came running to take a lead. You don't form a collaboration like that as a leaders. You wait, be the deal breaker, allow the process to play out. I'm not sure whether even coming trust him because he can't even get out because they all got into a marriage where there was no pastor to administer the wedding ceremony, and they just call a few people and put them together, say from today, yes, I do, and they walk out, only to come back at the full 3-star back. Now we are getting the revelation. That's not my makeup. That's what bullet is saying, if it is true. The other 4, they decided to kick against it because they were pushing Nyamblikanga Lawrence for the vice presidency. Give me a break. First, get the hair first, and the hair is the one that has the authority to make a selection. Or just do your political game. Do it on the ground. You don't have to inject all sort of false innuendos, false propagandas, and all sort of stuff to create. You created your own mess. You raise an alligator, and the alligator now is getting you. And he who rides the back of the alligator gradually goes into the belly of the alligator. So Joseph Boyka, as an adult in the room, he needs to come up. So they make a crazy and stupid framework. Anybody doing something in their own, they can't talk. So they tie their own hands. How will you come together and just close door on yourself without even giving a gap that you can give room for the conversation? And you expect it to go? Folks, have a pleasant night. We wish Liberia the best.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Love is all we need to make it see. This is the time to come together. Keep Liberia safe forever. Open up your heart, let your unity begin. Love is all we need to make it stand. Let's cultivate